everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning in this video, we're going to talk about video.
I love it. Like, it's like a twofer.
It's kind of very, very, very self-aware. But we're going to talk about a very specific kind of video, and that is what I refer to as disposable video.
Yes. Today has gone more towards disposable video. Even I'll go as far as disposable graphics, but it's definitely a throwaway world. And I don't mean this in a negative way. It's just more of things have changed, and you need to reinvent more quickly, and you need to be doing it with video.
And the video we're going to talk about today is not the stuff you put on the homepage of your web. It is not that high prestige, $3,000 video branded. No, this is definitely the product that you're creating for social media, for in the moment, little bits of who your brand is.
For social ads. Yeah, like you said, 3,000. Like, I mean, some of the videographers I've worked with, like that type of video is 10 grand. Easily, but you got to let go of this like perfection model when it comes to the type of videos that are being created today. The video we're doing right now is, not this professionally shot video, but it still has a lot of value.
Absolutely. And so what I want you to think about as a business is this idea of little bits of information. What can you be sharing with your community, with your customers, with referral partners, with potential prospects that demonstrate your expertise, demonstrate your personality? Because at the end of the day, people do business with people.
Right. And you need to do it in less than a minute. So there's things to think about there. Like, I mean, obviously we've got Instagram Reels, we've got TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all these places that are, fueling the fire for these like short, authentic videos. But you can use those videos in other places as well. So, you have to think about tools that can make it easy just to do it on your phone. So, or tools on your desktop. So you got to think about what you're comfortable with, and you just need to get comfortable with it.
And absolutely. And the thing is that being brilliant in 10 seconds, 60 seconds, that's hard. If you're, we do these shows for 10 or 12 minutes and we ramble around and maybe we make some good points and maybe there's a lot of fluff in between. But when you have to do it in a minute, you can take two approaches. You can actually rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it and get it down to a minute. Or with a little bit of editing, say what you need to say and then go back and listen to it and go back and watch it. And you will find that 1 minute segment or that 30-second segment that's really brilliant. Grab that. That's what you use on Instagram, and do the 2-minute version on LinkedIn because your audience is going to be a little more patient.
Yes, there's a trend going on in TikTok called Tell Me What You Do in 7 seconds or less. And I'm like, 7 seconds. I did it in 22 seconds. So you've probably already seen it. But it was like, I can't tell you what I do. And all I was doing was like showing like the different types of marketing that we do. And trying to make it fun, and it's like, well, maybe people don't even know what I do. Mm-hmm. So it's a good trend.
When I was really starting to work on public speaking and I joined Toastmasters, there were exercises that we did. You had your 5-minute and your 10-minute speech, but then you had the like 1 minute and 2-minute challenges where you really had to get in and get out very quickly on a topic. And that's really practice for where video has gone today.
Yep. I think of tips think of just quick hits for people to understand that you do know what you're talking about or you are able to help. I think those are good videos to do.
One of the things that I struggle with, and real honest here, I love to have a story that you lead on to make the point. Well, most of my stories run 3 minutes. That's because I boiled them down for these little 5-minute speeches that I used to do at Rainmaker events. So I've got 5-minute little stories that are great. You know what? That's too long. And so, getting back to, okay, what's the real, what's the crux? Same thing with writing a long blog post and then pulling out 2 or 3 points that are really selling it.
You have that long form content already. We'll now call long form. So just pulling the little things that are like, oh, that's an eye opener. You probably already did it in your blog. You probably made it stand out already. Like if you could just talk about that one little subject and do it in a nice, friendly, smiling way, maybe with some trending music, all these tools that are out there. Maybe we should talk about that. Like, what are some of the tools that you've been using to make some of your short videos?
So first off, I do very little live. I other than our Friday morning conversations, almost everything else I do, I pre-record and then I may push it out through live channels, but I pre-record so I can kind of see it, maybe chop it down a little bit. I like Canva and I like Adobe Premiere Rush. A lot of times I will edit the video first in Premiere to get it down to the length that I want and pull the snippets. But then it's way easier to animate it and add the fun graphics using Canva. How about you? What do you like?
So I definitely use Canva too to create the graphics. And then I also use Camtasia. So that's a really good desktop app. It's a one-time purchase, like $125. So it's a lot less expensive than Adobe when you have to buy all of that. I've also been using apps called InShot. There's CapCut. My 12-year-old nephews who I've been paying attention to, like, hey, buddy, what apps are you using? Because he's really good at it. And I'm like, you're going to have a job with me someday. He's like, oh, am I? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you are. I'm more interested in all the video editing skills that I'm seeing happening on Reels and TikTok. And I'm just, the content doesn't get me as much as like, wow, like that's some good editing.
Yeah, that thing that's really interesting is just how quick you can do things, and that's
throwaway.
Going back to business owners. Going back to business owners. It's disposable. So one of the other things you want to be careful. You can do a lot of really cool things with video, but then you have to ask yourself, what is this video going to be used for? It's a quick TikTok, if it's an Instagram reel, if it's here today, gone tomorrow, you shouldn't be spending more than about an hour. Because if you are, you're really
wasting time.
You're wasting time. Because you're letting the social media and the video take precedence over your business. An hour once or twice a week for the average business owner, that's awesome. That's going to be great. It's going to get you out there. It's going to give you some fun content. But you're not making the next Academy Award winning film. So don't be spending 20 minutes or, editing one little point. That's crazy.
You know what a good thing to do is to chunk things together that are alike. So if you can record an entire week's worth and like you just record that and then edit it at a different time, and you're chunking things together, then your brain doesn't have to think as hard. And you can get things done more efficiently. You could even chunk out like an entire month worth and just make it an all-in-one setting, and then you're just like in the mode and you're just going rather than have to rethink.
And you know what? That chunking is great advice for all of your social media. If you have a particular style post you want to do once a week, line up 10 of them. I keep a running Word document where I have links to things that I found, or articles or notes. And then when it's time to publish, the next step is I create the graphics for all of them. And then the next step is now I post and schedule all of them. And so doing the same thing with video makes a ton of sense.
Podcast recording, you chunk them all together and then you record. It's repeatable over and over. So at the end of the day, though, you have to get into video. You can't avoid it anymore. There's lots of things that make it really easy. Start paying attention to people that are fearless. Just like, I don't care what I look like. Go back and look at my YouTube videos in the beginning. You want a good joke? Go back and look at Gary Vaynerchuk's beginning videos, and you'll be like, okay, and he keeps them up there. They're live because it's the process, but you got to get started.
Awesome. And with that, I'm going to tell you, we're going to put links to our YouTube channels in the notes. And I hope that you will join us there and back here for more lives.
All right. Take care, everybody.